This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 15th day of February in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The International Energy Conference and Expo opened this morning here in Georgetown, with President Irfaan Ali declaring that Guyana's portfolio as an oil-producing nation has not only set the stage for major economic and infrastructural transformation, but also for the lives of Guyanese to be transformed. During his feature address at the opening of the conference, the president admitted that while Guyana has boasted over the years of bountiful natural resources such as gold, diamond, and bauxite, the country never had the capital to build a diversified economy. But that is changing now.
That we've always spoken about the promises and dreams and aspirations of generations of Guyans. Today, with hard work, simplicity, and humility, we have the ability to make that giant leap not only for Guyana, but for all of humanity, and we must do it.
President Ali told the conference that despite criticism, Guyana will develop its oil resources to bring out changes that will lead to sustainable growth and development. He said investors must understand that Guyanese must benefit from the sector and their investments.
We are humbled by this opportunity, and we welcome investors. Local content is not about not welcoming investors. We welcome every single investor, be it Exxon, be it the international investors, has every single stakeholder. Whether you're regional, international, we welcome you. But all we are saying is that that space for technological transformation, collaboration, local growth, and competitiveness and increased productivity must be built into the system to bring benefit to the people of the country.
On the issue of local capacity to develop and manage the oil and gas sector, President Ali said that local capacity must be developed because Guyana is now positioned to respond to international challenges and contribute to global solutions.
We have the capacity, we have the capability, and we must now work together to find our place and space in bringing global solutions. Yes, we have a small population. Importantly, a growing population.
And the president also boasted about the country's agricultural potential and also urged investors to look in that direction. The International Energy Conference has brought together more than 500 foreign and local delegates and 150 companies. An exhibition featuring local and foreign players in the oil and gas sector and government agencies is also being hosted at the conference. The Energy Conference has come to Guyana at a time when the country is preparing to increase its oil production, as a second oil production vessel has started full operations. Guyana began oil production just over a year ago and currently produces more than 120,000 barrels of oil per day. More news coming up in just a moment.
How fast is fiber? Think fast. GTT Fiber has 3 packages with download speeds of 50, 100, and 150 megabits per second. That's fast enough to stream movies and music, to chat with Gran and Fran, to study, and more. What would you do? Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo, under the theme Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, will be hosted at the Guyana Marriott from the 15th to the 18th of February 2022. Meet and engage with energy leaders from around the world. The conference will feature addresses from His Excellency President Irfaan Ali, His Excellency Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, Honorable Prime Minister Mark Phillips, His Excellency Chandrika Prasad Santoki, Honorable Prime Minister Mia Motley, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and many other highly esteemed speakers. Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo.
Miss Smash Queen Guyana 2022 National Pride Costume Competition and Coronation. Sunday, February 20th at 1900 hours at the Ramada Georgetown Princess Hotel. Come, witness our 6 ambassadors vie for the crown as we mash down, mask up, and make melody.
People may forget the present you bought for them, but they'll never forget your scent. Find your signature fragrance at Elite Fragrances and Trade-In, located at 123 Regent Road Border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. Call 619-5151 or 227-1255. Get a designer fragrance for yourself or loved one that they will never forget.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more. Combo pack up flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack, now with a new look and new mix. Grab your pack today.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
Give me one dembe for my whole family. Their bread is tasty. Dembe,
Baked with love and passion by our dedicated team of fine bakers, we give you Dembake. With the same great quality you're used to, we now have a slightly new look. Here in Land of Canaan, we are ready to give you even more. Don't wait until you're hungry. Reach for a slice of Dembake.
Dembe,
Dembake, healthy, wholesome living.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow can Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
Welcome back as we continue to look at that International Energy Conference being hosted here in Guyana. The president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, has urged Guyana to be mindful of how it exploits its oil and gas resources, and he has also warned of the consequences if the sector is not properly managed by those entrusted with its management. During the opening of the International Energy Conference this morning, the Ghanaian leader urged Guyana's government to effect proper management of the oil and gas revenue and ensure transparency and equity for the benefit of all citizens. He said careful thought must be given to the social, environmental, and economic benefits of the sector as it changes continually.
No energy project, therefore, no matter how high its return on value, is worth it if the interests of some or majority of the stakeholders are not properly represented and they're left impoverished and dissatisfied.
Based on Ghana's experience, the president urged that Ghana's oil resources be used for nationwide industrial development and to pursue ambitious resource management policies based on environmental and other considerations.
Ensure that the petroleum sector becomes a cutting-edge industry with a strong focus on health, safety, and environment at all levels of the industry, and base its operations on a goal of cumulative, continuous improvement. Sixthly, encourage investments along the oil and gas supply chain through incentivization and practical regulations.
President Akufo-Addo said while partnering with international companies is good, the country should maximize oil resources by using local services and people and companies in all areas of the value chain to retain the benefits. The president of Ghana also said while the oil and gas sector brings prosperity, the environmental questions must not be left unanswered.
Minimize the flaring or venting of natural gas generated in development and develop a viable domestic petrochemical industry based on natural gas.
And he also encouraged the diversification of the electricity sector through the development of renewable energy. This is the second visit to Guyana by the president of Ghana. He made his first visit back in 2019 under the previous government. Since then, under the previous and current Guyana governments, efforts have been made to deepen ties between Ghana and Guyana, with a specific focus on the energy and oil and gas sectors. Well, the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, has urged the government of Guyana to ensure that the citizens of Guyana play major and key roles in the local oil and gas sector. The Barbadian Prime Minister said she has noted the complaints of regional and international private sector bodies about the country's local content policy and how it is structured. However, Mottley said while it is important for investors to feel welcomed, it is also important that governments look out for their citizens by having them actively participate in and benefit meaningfully from the local resources.
The day that we do not provide opportunity for our citizens who participate in active citizenship, of being able to benefit from the patrimony of our country, is the day we sow the seeds of destruction of our nation.
Prime Minister Mottley pointed out that while there might be differences and conflicts, it's up to those in leadership positions to make the decision to put the people first and resolve those differences.
And it is our duty to be able to smooth that over, but to ensure that at no stage as newly independent countries of the world do we leave our citizens as tenants in their own land, but make them owners of all that they must survey.
Additionally, Ms. Mottley said Guyana has now reached a stage where it is operating on a different playing field, and the country must now utilize the opportunity to take its citizens who are stricken by poverty along the new path to prosperity.
But I believe that your country, Guyana, our country, Caribbean country, Guyana, has endured much. And you cannot move from being a highly indebted poor country to where you are today without being given the opportunity, one, to bring along your people who have suffered the indignity of that poverty for decades, but secondly, without being given the opportunity to participate globally in discussions that will affect your ability to manage the development of your people. And I trust and pray that this conference will trigger that international conversation.
The Prime Minister of Barbados encouraged greater participation from all stakeholders as the country develops its natural resources in a sustainable manner. Now to our neighbors in the east. With both Guyana and Suriname on the pathway to become major players in the oil and gas sector, the president of Suriname, Shan Santoki, believes both countries must be responsible as they move ahead with the development of their oil and gas resources. Speaking at the opening of the International Energy Conference this morning, President Santoki said Suriname is already moving in the direction of having the oil and gas sector managed responsibly as other marine resources are developed.
We must be responsible in our approach and certainly develop our oil and gas resources in an environmentally friendly and sound manner. Human activities, including fishing, shipping, or the exploitation of marine resources are rapidly developing. Suriname, therefore, is on a path where better integration and management of human activities in the marine landscape of Suriname will be pursued.
In 2020, there were several oil discoveries made in Suriname, as Guyana also made major discoveries. Since then, the two neighboring countries have been looking at various areas of cooperation to develop their oil resources and strengthen their ties. President Santoki said both Guyana and Suriname are on the path of development towards a sustainable economy that will make the transition from carbon-based energy to green energy.
We must realize the challenging times we live in. A part of the pandemic and global financial and development risks, we also face the impact of climate change and now also of looming global instability as a consequence of political conflict. All of this will have an impact on the energy generation demands, flows, and prices. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is not only that we must transition from one energy source to a cleaner and renewable one, but also we must consider how energy itself will transform our lives and our economies as we go forward.
And the president of Suriname is also confident that Guyana and Suriname could become key international players in tackling some of the world's energy problems.
I certainly believe that Suriname and Guyana, with these new resources, can help mitigate the global energy poverty, which makes it difficult for almost 1 billion people to develop a productive livelihood. In charting this transition, we must recognize that others have gone before us and had profited from the earned revenues to develop a modern economy and create a future path of economic development where oil and gas may not play such a significant role anymore.
The International Energy Conference is focusing heavily on the sustainable use of energy resources and development. The president of Suriname told the conference opening that his country has already put various initiatives and systems in place for greater management of the country's natural resources in a more sustainable manner. Guyanese businessman and owner and publisher of Culture News, Glenn Lau, who has been calling for the renegotiation of the oil contracts with Exxon, led a protest this morning outside the Marriott Hotel where the International Energy Conference is being hosted. Lau has been highlighting his concerns about the existing contracts in his newspapers and across social media. He believes that unless Guyana renegotiates the contracts and make them more attractive for the country, the benefits from the oil and gas sector will be leaving the local shores rather than remaining here to develop the country.
This is a fight initiated for all Guyanese. This is a fight for us to get our rightful share from these multinationals, my friends. And what has been happening, it is very clear that if we allow things to go as the norm, as it is today, the Guyanese people will left indebted and back to slavery. So we cannot allow that to happen anymore. This protest, and only protest, is going to bring about this change.
The former coalition government came under widespread criticism over the production sharing agreement it signed with the Exxon company following the discovery of oil. On the issue of renegotiating the contracts, Mr. Lau said the PP Civic has been in office since 2020 and does not appear eager to change anything in the existing contract, although its leading members had criticized the contracts. He said he believes more pressure should be placed on the government to get it right. An opposition member of parliament, Sherrod Duncan, was also on the picket line in support of the other protesters and their position. He admitted that Guyana did not get its fair share in the existing contracts, which were signed when the coalition was in office.
Well, I'm lending my voice to the hundreds of persons who are out here as well, asking for a reconsideration, renegotiation, albeit of this, the production sharing agreement of 2016. You know, as we revisit that and we look at the enormous the discoveries since then we realize that we really haven't gotten a fair share, and whether it is the full coverage insurance or the royalty, the 2% as it currently stands, that we need more out of this oil deal with ExxonMobil. And so in my capacity, I am lending my voice to the Guyanese who are out here demanding more for the citizens of this country.
The protest was kept some distance away from the conference, but even with the grey skies and light rainfall, the protesters persisted and held the picket line for a number of hours. Let's tell you now that the Guyana Human Rights Association has become the latest organization to condemn the remarks that were made by the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Darmlao, in the National Assembly last week, which were directed to an opposition female member of parliament. During the national budget considerations and while at the microphone, the government minister told the opposition MP that she needs a dildo. In a statement this morning, the Human Rights Association said the sexual insult used by the government minister should be seen as a watershed moment, rather than treated as the routine rough and tumble of Parliament. According to the human rights body, the incident constitutes sexual harassment of both the member of parliament in question and indirectly of all female MPs who have to sit and listen to exchanges which would not be tolerated even in a well-run public bar. The organization says such behavior also undermines the longer-term goal of a parliament composed equally of males and females. While Dharmalal offered an apology while claiming that his remarks were not directed at any female member of parliament, the human rights body said it also speaks volumes about the status of women in Guyana when other MPs have not called for Mr. Dharmalal to be seriously disciplined and dismissed from parliament. The association also called out the Speaker of the National Assembly for not addressing the issue. The Human Rights Association said while it was correct for the opposition MP Sherrod Duncan to be suspended for his loud interruption of the House in defense of his colleague, the Speaker is yet to find fault with Minister Dharmalal and his statements. This past weekend, women's rights group Help and Shelter and political party A New and United Guyana both called for Dharmalal to be removed from his position as a government minister and member of parliament over his remarks.
You taste the cheese, you hear the crunch. Grab a zoomers and zoom into fun. And with the first taste, you feel like you don't want it done. Blast off to a whole new place with every single bite. The cheesy goodness bring your taste buds alive. So let's just zoom into fun with this wheel-shaped light. Zoomers, zoomers, zoom into fun.
This is Mocha. Miss Smash Queen Guyana 2022 National Pride Costume Competition and Coronation. Sunday, February 20th at 1900 hours at the Ramada Georgetown Princess Hotel. Come, witness our 6 ambassadors vie for the crown as we mash down, mask up, and make melody.
Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo under the theme Charting a Sustainable Energy Future will be hosted at the Guyana Marriott from the 15th to the 18th of February 2022. Meet and engage with energy leaders from around the world. The conference will feature addresses from His Excellency President Irfan Ali, His Excellency Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, Honorable Prime Minister Mark Phillips, His Excellency Chandrika Prasad Santoki, Honorable Prime Minister Mia Motley, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and many other highly esteemed speakers. Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get your
color.
Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight in Jamaica, a trial of dozens of alleged gang members in the country is testing recent judicial reforms designed to fight the island's powerful criminal groups, widely blamed for the Caribbean nation having one of the world's highest murder rates. Jamaica's Supreme Court is trying the 33 defendants and charges, including arson, murder, and being part of a criminal organization. The offenses were allegedly committed between 2015 and 2019 on the western outskirts of the capital of Kingston. The trial has shocked the nation with graphic testimony from ex-associates describing how the accused bragged to each other about murdering rivals, or became angry to learn that they were lagging other gangs in killings. Prime Minister Andrew Holness's government is hoping for convictions that could help slow gang violence in Jamaica. Authorities say gangs are responsible for 70% of the country's homicides, which rose 10% last year to reach 47.7 per 100,000 inhabitants, giving it the world's highest murder rate according to the Reuters news agency and its calculations. CARICOM has called for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity to be respected. The statement by the Georgetown headquartered CARICOM came amid rising international fears that Russia is about to invade neighboring Ukraine over what it claims are the security concerns. Russia has been seeking to coerce Ukraine never to join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and wants a series of other security guarantees pertaining to Eastern Europe. CARICOM has called on all actors to intensify diplomatic efforts to settle differences peacefully and calls for the respect of Ukraine's sovereignty. The community welcomes the efforts of the international community to promote dialogue and to find urgent solutions to de-escalate tensions in the region, the statement said. And finally tonight, international news. The BBC reports that British Prince Andrew has settled a civil sexual assault case brought against him in the US by Virginia Joffrey. Ms. Joffrey had been suing the Duke of York, claiming that he sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions when she was 17 years old. Allegations that he has repeatedly denied. A letter filed to the US District Court on Tuesday said the Duke and Ms. Joffrey had reached an out-of-court settlement. It said the Duke would pay an undisclosed sum to Ms. Joffrey. His representative said that he had no comment beyond what was said in the document filed to the court. Buckingham Palace declined to comment on the settlement. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.